Ooh, welcome, folks. We're going to uncover ourselves here in 1 second. And 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome. This is going to be a very exciting stream. We know that there's a lot of discussion going on in the greater RPG universe about the OGL, changes to it, wizards, and all that stuff. And so this is we didn't make this move because of those changes. This has been in the works because this is the 20th anniversary of Savage Worlds this year. This is the hashtag Year of Savage Worlds. And we were planning on rolling this out in February, but we decided we can't wait. You guys need to know about this. So we'll roll it out now. So the website is not done, but we are going to launch. We have purchased and are launching SavageUniverse.com. And this is going to be a one-stop shopping place for you guys to find out about our aces and our swag members and our licensees and translators. It'll have information to, it'll be 100% about those folks. And maybe turn off the little, there we go. And so very customer facing. We don't want our greater Savage universe. We make Savage Worlds, and then you guys are our universe, to be lost on pegging.com. We've got so much going on pegging.com right now, and because we've branched out to these other kind of media platforms and are really going whole hog on all things Savage Worlds, we don't want you guys to get lost in the shuffle. So we want to give you your own site where you guys can come and find out all of the other creators who are doing wonderful things with Savage Worlds, all the different licenses that you guys, if you want to play with Savage Worlds, can pick up and get, and all that good stuff. And this is a monumental task. It's not something we can do by ourselves. So we brought on JM DeFogi. Welcome, JM, as our Savage Universe community manager.
Yeah. Thank you. It's exciting to be here, exciting to be talking about this. There's obviously been a lot of blind panic, I would say, in the gaming space, but not in the Savage universe. It's been Cadillac, smooth sailing. So
right, we're pretty good. We're pretty covered. So one thing is, if you guys want to read along, you want to find out before we migrate a bunch of this over to Savage Universe, there's one thing you guys should look at right now, which is pegging.com licensing. That is the easiest way. Let me put it in the comments for everybody. So in case you want to read along and find out about what kind of licenses we offer, what the terms are. We do operate things a little different than you might see with an SRD or the OGL. And our licenses are various levels of open. The fan license is very open. Swag is pretty decently open. And then the higher up you get, if you want to be an ace and print real books, we do a little more oversight. And then obviously stuff that's like very bespoke is with like translators. If you want to bring Savage Worlds to your country in your language, I think we're in dozens of countries and over a dozen languages. I think Shane commented like 13, I think, which is a great number. That's growing every day. And and Aaron's in the chat too. What's up, guys? All the good fun people. The big topic, not a scary topic though. We do sympathize with all our friends who are wrapped up in the OGL, and that touches us a little downstream. I think the only thing OGL for us really is via Paizo, and we're following their lead on that. But we have the OGL in Savage Pathfinder, and that's really there kind of as a CYA, just in case the name or two. It really doesn't affect us as far as mechanics wise because it's all Savage Worlds mechanics and it's all Pathfinder Paizo world building. So we are pretty removed from that. So I think we're okay there. Let's just show the logo for a second. I'm gonna put over, like Jody mentioned, that the logo is pretty awesome, and it really is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, the logo is fantastic.
So you're done looking at us two bald guys for a second. We are going to, let me put this up so you can see how gorgeous. Oh, so pretty.
Yeah. Hey, I have dice with all of those.
Right? If you've got the nice brick box set. So here's a crazy thing. We've got a video from Shane, and we're going to really kick us off the conversation in earnest. But if you've got all dice with all those little awesome logos on them, you probably bought the amazing, super thick box set, the deluxe. Again, it's totally out of print now. And Savage Worlds itself, Suede. This is one of the last copies to go out because I ordered 3 because I gave them away as Christmas presents. And fresh printed copy. We're not going to have more of these until March, guys, because we had planned for a whole Q1 stock. We were going to be good. Lots and lots, like hundreds and hundreds of books. And between December and the first week of January, Studio 2 just let us know we are sold out. And don't know why, guys. Maybe there's a rush on quality gaming systems. If you do buy today, if you go to our website, I'll put the link up. You get the PDF immediately, and then you will get the books as soon as they come in. We had that order planned already, and now we've got another little rush. But we've got some cool. I don't know if Shane will leak it. We've got some great stuff to learn about on one of our next Kickstarters. It'll be amazing if you want to get dice with those little logos on it and all the cool stuff. So I'm going to play the video from Shane, and we will get going here, guys. So.
Okay.
Hello, friends. I'm Shane Hensley with Pinnacle, and I can't be with you tonight, but I wanted to welcome you to the launch of SavageUniverse.com. This is a brand new website dedicated to all of our partners, which includes the Savage Worlds fan license, our ACES, the Savage Worlds Media Network, the Savage Worlds Adventure Guild hosted on Drive-Thru RPG, and our translation partners. I think we're in about 13 different languages right now, so there are a lot of them. And we wanted to give all of these different partners a place to host, feature, and display their content. So whether it's their latest crowdfunder, a new release, a product update, a license, or just a cool news bit or an actual play, we wanted them to have a dedicated spot to do that, curated by someone that works with Pinnacle to make sure they come out at the right time and hit all the right, our social media and Facebook, and Instagram, and all that kind of stuff. We also wanted them to be able to release their news items without getting buried on the Pinnacle website, where we've been featuring them forever, and we will still do so. We just want to make sure that they have a cool, clear site with more space than we can give them with all of the stuff that we have going on. So that's what SavageUniverse.com is, and we hope to grow from there and give them even more of a spotlight and ways to create, produce, and manage their product. We have all kinds of stuff lined up and in store for them to do so. So I'm going to hand you off now to J.M. DeFogie and Chris Landauer, who are going to walk us through what the site is, what it can do for you, maybe what our different licenses are for those who want to know, questions that you have, etc. So that's it for me. Welcome to SavageUniverse.com. Have a great evening. Thanks very much.
So yeah, thanks Shane for making a nice little video for us, and interesting as to think. So the OGL, it's an ongoing issue. It is changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary for a lot of folks. So we don't want to make light of the situation, but
No.
Our license. So we're not changing our licenses. Our licenses aren't built off the SRD or the OGL. But we like to introduce you guys to our licenses in case they appeal to you, and being a Savage Worlds creator. And I think if I can, we'll open up our licensing page and we'll run through what those licenses are first, and then we'll start taking you guys' questions. A couple people mentioned, wanted to know what the printing. So the printing, the March printing is not a very, very current PDF for Savage Worlds Core. They put that to the printer before that update. So if you want to wait until, I think it'll be version 5 or 6, it'll be coming in after that. And that'll be information that'll probably be more relevant for one of the next Kickstarters we do. So you might want to hold off, but you can get the very latest version of Savage Worlds on our website, pegging.com. If you do get the hardback, you get the PDF for free, and that's instantaneous. So
right, and the changes are minor, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Some people do want to have just the very, very new.
Yeah,
so
no, I get that.
And we're not doing stickers, right? Remember one of the books had its stickers, and a different company, different era. Let me see if I can't share the right tab to get in on. Let's see. Boom. I think that's the right one. So this is at pegging.com/licensing.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be on SavageUniverse.com. But if you guys visit here now, you can see that there's a fan license, the swag license, the media network, and the ACES. We don't have information on translators here. Those, get in touch with us, and we'll let you know how that works. Translator licenses are a little bit different because and Donald Shepis is the guy who heads up those. Those are very bespoke, depending on how much of our art and assets you guys use and need. And so, a lot of times we just hand you a bunch of files and you can translate them. So that is bespoke. But the fan license is the easiest license to get into. You don't need approval. We don't monitor and what's the right word?
There's no oversight necessarily.
Curated.
Yeah.
So it's a fan license. You can slap the Savage Worlds fan product logo on there, and we don't curate. So this is very open. Obviously, if there's something that really goes against ethics and values and stuff, we'll be nice about it and contact you guys. But we haven't really had to do that, and we've never had to pull a license. So yeah, this is all just different levels of dialogue that you guys have with us. And I think the biggest thing, the difference between, say, like an open license like the OGL and the SRD is for our later licenses, you have to say hi and let us know who you are. And that's part of opening the dialogue with you folks. And that really isn't a wall so much as it is a bridge. And I think things like the OGL, where you never really have to contact wizards and they don't know who you are and you don't know who they are really. It's open, but there's not that communication. And we like the communication because we are your biggest cheerleaders, we're your biggest fans. And that's really why we're doing Savage Universe. So it can be very clear what's on there. So here's the fan product license. Basically, include the logo on your fans, and you're welcome. The only thing you can't do with the fan license is sell. So as long as you're releasing it for free, so if you want to make a character sheet that's customized to your favorite theme, or you want to insert a new edge or hindrance or whatever that, and you can just release it to the community for free, that's the way to go. And again, for all of our licenses, we never claim intellectual property over what you create.
Right.
Likewise, if you want to use our stuff, it really kind of needs a bespoke contract, and we'll get into that later. But so you guys, if you want to release Weird Western, awesome. If you want to do Deadlands, that's a conversation that you got to talk to us about. And so far, preceding this, we have opened up Deadlands and Pinnacle properties to a select few aces after they've demonstrated supreme quality. So you guys, if you're new to our community, we've got a great creator, Doghouse Rules, and you probably recognize Carl Kiesler's work on all of our new books. He does a lot of the layout and the trade dress, and he's an amazing game master. If you've ever been to Gen Con or one of the bigger conventions, or come on the Savage Cruise, Carl's been at all of those. And he puts in, he's a graphic designer by trade, and he's amazing because they've done such great work on releasing Deadlands-like products with their Doghouse Rules. And also, they were kind of the creative force that really started the ball rolling on Savage Pathfinder. We've allowed them, and they will be getting to be publishing with Savage Worlds IP. So that is a possibility if you guys are really great like Carl. So fan license is based very, very open. And the swag, which is pretty much very similar to the, I think a little bit better, but it's similar to the other guild programs. It's through Drive-Thru RPG. That's the easy platform to use for that. And on this platform, Drive-Thru has a royalty. I believe was it 20, 30%, 25%?
I believe it's 30.
It's 30. Okay, yeah. So Drive-Thru is 30 off the top, and then I believe we take 10 on a net royalty. So it's not 10, it's like 7 point something, I think, after theirs.
Right.
But it's basically 10%. So we call it 10, but it's 10 after Drive-Thru takes theirs. And so that's really and it's only on digital sales or sales through OBS, One Bookshelf, Drive-Thru RPG. That's the only royalty. We don't take royalties if you do a Kickstarter. We don't do royalties on your printed books. We don't do royalties if you do it on the website. It's really just on Drive-Thru RPG sales where they take a cut. And the Adventures Guild is a great way to start and being part of the community. There's a great Discord, the Savage Worlds Discord, where creators get together and really talk about how to begin doing layout and design and putting things together. And every year we go back and look at the most popular selling and the most allotted works that have been published the previous year through the Adventurers Guild, and we do the swag awards.
Yep, looking forward to that.
Right, so JM is going to help me host those at the end of the month, hopefully, for all the great creators. And we've seen those people really excel and kind of take off through the swag program. And let's see. Okay, so in the background, they got a bunch of people who are joining. We'll have some aces who'll be joining us on screen a little later to show off some of their wares and talk about being aces and using the program. And we'll get to all your questions and comments, guys. So so that is swag. Swag is that's the a very easy through Drive-Thru RPG. We help you get it set up on there. Oh, and then not appearing tonight, I should mention, is Danny Walsh. He's on UK time and he's a little under the weather. So prayers for Danny. He's got COVID, but he's hopefully getting better. He is our liaison to all of our licensees. So he'll be the first person if you contact Peg Licensing. I think it's Peg Licensing at pegging.com. But we'll get those emails out on Savage Universe so you guys know who you need to contact. He'll be the first person to help you guys apply, what you need to do to get the licenses and all that good stuff. So he could make up as he's asleep, but he is great, and he knows how to handle all your questions and your concerns and handhold you through the process. After the guild is, we'll talk about the Media Network. So Media Network is a new license that we brought in the last probably 2 years. And there we go, PEG licensing at Gmail. That'll get you to Danny. So Media Network is for everything you want to create, whether it's a blog or a podcast or a Twitch stream. And this is a very easy open license. It's basically, let us know that you're out there so we can help promote your stuff. And it gives you the right to show our games on your streams and not have to worry about all of that, the nitty gritty of IP protection. So the Media Network is super friendly, and we love you guys, going on Twitch and on YouTube and all those good things. So definitely, if you are a different kind of creator than a publisher, a Media Network is where to go for those. And then our highest licensee is Aces. And if you're new to Savage Worlds, when you roll your dice, if they roll the highest number on the dice, like a 6 on a d6, we call it acing. Other systems call it exploding. And it allows you to keep rolling and add your dice together. So aces are our highest and best. And these are people who have proven not only that they create great material and understand the system, but they also have the production values that you would expect from Pinnacle in their products. And that's the biggest hurdle. And if you don't get an ACE license the first time around, do circle back as you honed your skills, and those can always be reconsidered. But ACEs give you guys a lot of room to run Kickstarters, do print books, really kind of go above and beyond for platforms beyond drive-through-RPG. And lots of good text in there. You guys can read it, but basically very similar. It's also the net royalty, 10% only on drive-through-RPG sales. We don't go after any of your stuff on during your Kickstarter or if you print books or any of that kind of stuff. And this is kind of the great licensee voyage, and Ace is the top. And there's also some really good advice on here on just kind of where to get art. We do offer art assets for our licensees, and we're going to be building that library with SavageUniverse. And so you guys can get into the market easier. And then we do provide some simple InDesign templates for like one sheets. A one sheet's a great way to start. If you haven't done anything for Savage Worlds yet, doing a one sheet is kind of what we ask for people who want to submit larger stuff. If you want to work for PEG or go to publishing, one sheets is a very good way to test your skills on layout and design. So so that's the website to check out currently. All the stuff will very soon be migrating to SavageUniverse. But with that, I'll open up to all the questions and comments, because we've got like 160 people here and a bunch of comments, and we'll let JM chime in. And guys, let's start it. So let's see. Corey asks, how does Paizo's announcement tonight affect y'all? So great question. We're 100% behind Paizo. We have a great working relationship with them with Savage Pathfinder, and we're it looks like they're doing the right thing and a smart thing in the industry, going the direction they're going. So 100% behind it. And I think, we might get Shane on a little bit later to talk about that. But I think we've signed on to the sign on for that. And I mean, it's also interesting that they're taking the steps to make sure that it's a nonprofit that holds their new whatever this open game is going to be, which is interesting. It reminds me like open software is kind of the same thing. So it was just announced earlier today, but it's very interesting. The good question from Steel Draco. So Steel Draco is awesome. He helps run our Savage Worlds Discord and is able to put out material. So we currently have a library available to Aces, and I believe it goes down to even swag. But we are going to be adding to that. I mean, for sure, all of the art that we're using in the companions as they come out will be available for your products. And a real quick statement, Aaron Acevedo, he's in the chat. He said it best if you want to check his Facebook, but because it's a hot topic.
I was going to bring it up, yeah.
Right? We are taking a very neutral and if not positive stance on AI art. Basically, as a company for Pinnacle, we are hiring no fewer artists at all. We have raised the number of artists dramatically for all the projects we're doing, and we will continue to do so. And we definitely support artists in the community. But for AI, we do believe that it's a neutral technology that can help. I think especially our swag and our aces really kind of break into the industry, because I think we pay a pretty penny for a lot of the art. Really great cover art costs a good deal. And I think a lot of products just won't get published. So we think for the class of developers that want to access that, we are not banning it. And so it's up to individual ACEs and licensees if they want to use it or not. And we respect the decision of folks who aren't using it. And I know we've got some folks in here who said we're not going to use it for our products, and more power to them. That is great. We love seeing them hire as many artists as they do. Right. I'm pretty sure I think Christian is Nome is in here, and he's got some gorgeous art that he uses in his. And so if you go to chime in on those values, awesome. But yeah, so we are allowing ACEs and licensees to use that kind of art as well. So that's just an easy thing if you guys would like to do that. Yes, we were definitely, more art is definitely welcome. We are happy to do that. It's just kind of, it's interesting. It's like having a platform to be able to disseminate that kind of stuff. And now we do. Now we have it. Now we're doing SavageUniverse. So let's see, other great questions. Let's see. So many of our favorite people are right here. Like, hey, JT, hope you're on the mend, buddy. JT is going through a little stuff, but he is a great licensee, as I think both, actually. He puts out great stuff for Savage World, so I hope you're on the mend, amigo. Civil Savage, who I play weekly with. We play little pirate games. So let's see, anything else? Yes, art is very expensive. And there's Christian. I knew Christian was in, so Christian wants to chime in. Totally welcome to that. Street Wolves. Yes, Street Wolves looks amazing. Another Ace product. So that's kind of one thing, and we'll show you a little video as a surprise at the end. One of our aces become in-house. And this has happened a couple times in the history of Pinnacle. If you're a really great ace and we love your product, we might bring you in-house and help you out with Kickstarters or a deal. And it has happened before with ETU. ETU was originally 12 to midnight, and we licensed from them, and now it's kind of a very much in-house project. And Holler is one of these things that because of our licensing program and kind of stepping up to the different levels of those, eventually became an in-house, and that is just shipping out this week. It was very exciting. So we'll definitely ask Tim about his experience on kind of running up the ladder of aces and stuff like that. So let's see. One of the good questions we got before was about InDesign and about designing and what we're going to do to help you. So if you look back a couple months in our stream, we had Simon on doing a build-a-box workshop for our aces and licensees on kind of what it takes to build a box set. So if you want to come in and do Pathfinder or Savage Worlds, and you want the box and all the cool stuff and all the really nice stuff that's inside there, how do you do that as a publisher? So we will continue to put that content out for our licensees to both explain it and then also give some partnerships on if we can ease the process in finding printers and in learning about what the terms mean, what about shipping means. We would love to see more folks be able to get enough backers, and really it's kind of over 500, closer to 1,000 the better. Do print runs, actually go and do print runs and be able to get the margins that really make them successful. Print on demand is very tough. It's the margin there is not very great. So it's an option for folks who don't want to take off, bite off more than they can chew yet. But we are going to be doing kind of design jams, and our community. Speaking of design jams, in February, our licensee community on the Discord is doing a February creator jam. And so if you guys check out our news on that, it'll be one of the things that you guys want to get into Savage Worlds and want the support of the community. Check out the Creator Jam that's happening in February. It's in our newsletter just this week. So let's see, other good stuff. Other comments. Lots of positivity, guys. It's amazing you guys are all here. Yeah, so here we go. So see the breakup, tempting, but haven't used it yet. So that's totally awesome. And question from Christian. Christian has done the amazing Savage Eberron, and luckily he posted he is not affected by the current OGL, but he actually has permission to release it under the Wizards fan content for Savage Eberron, so that's awesome. And let's see, Sigil. So Sigil is now in house, guys. So we got married with Sigil, and so for all of the talents from the Sigil folks are being put to use in a variety of projects. So yes, there are formerly Ace products that are now Sigil licensed products that are going to be coming out through. So there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of projects that are going to work. I can't really, they're not my story to tell yet, but there is good stuff that the Sigil team is working on
And we've got some big ideas for how to help aces on Savage Universe, and hopefully we'll be rolling those out and be able to talk about those even more.
Yes, and Brian mentions that a bunch of us who are follicularly challenged on staff. While I'm going through some questions to tag some stuff to bring up, why don't you introduce yourself, Jim, and tell people how you're in the industry and how you're related to Savage Worlds and all that good stuff.
Oh man, I'm J.M. DeFogie. You may I recognize John Doom in the chat. You may I started as a kind of a media network partner, and we did the horror at Headstone Hill this last summer, which was just awesome. I got into Savage Worlds a while ago. I think I got into Deadlands Revised was my first experience with it. I've been in the gaming industry quasi-professionally now for about a decade, and have just been publishing more things, doing a lot of content on the Iconic podcast and the Iconic production channel, and published a couple of games, worked with some people at Pinnacle, guys like Ross, got a good working relationship with Chris, got to hang out with Shane a couple of times, and just love gaming, love everything about it, love writing, designing, editing, layout, the whole thing. And so very excited to be partnering to kind of bring Savage Universe alive for everyone here in the chat, and for people who are looking for a space to create something cool and beautiful and interesting for gaming. And Savage's line of fast, fun, and furious just kind of summarizes what I love about gaming. So
awesome. So yes, and we're super happy to welcome you and be the ambassador for our aces. And he hasn't bragged enough. He just got off a Kickstarter for a wonderful property that Pinnacle touched several years ago, Space 1889.
Space 1889, yeah.
And our good friends at Torg, which Shane helped on the current edition, and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of good connections in the industry, and I think that's kind of what the positivity we're seeing about the OGL situation is. There is a lot of, I mean, in addition to kind of the fears, and some of them are very, very justified. There's a lot of good links coming out, and people doing stuff that I think will keep this industry strong, 20 more years in the future.
Oh yeah.
So we're really excited about all those good happenings. So I think I've got a couple questions lined up now, and we will bring Shane on to help answer some of these so that he can be in the room for them. I've got some questions from Reddit and somewhere else, and we'll get those on here too. But adding to the stream, Mr. Hensley, welcome aboard, sir.
Hello, everybody. I didn't think I was going to make it tonight, but I was helping my son move into a new apartment. But I made it back in time, and I'm enjoying the show. What can I do to help?
So first big question, since this involves money and good stuff, we've got a question about what about advertising their products on Savage Universe?
So we're trying to figure that out. We don't want to charge people money for it. That's not our goal to make money off of it. We make money off of partners by them making content, right? That helps us enlarge the community and sell more core rule books and that kind of thing. So I'm not sure how to do that, but we also don't have, even with JM's help, we don't have the staff to do like a point system or something, right? Like the cool promotional point system on drive-through. So not sure about that just yet, but we absolutely will figure out some system to let you put banners up there. It may just be a rotating thing as you send them, and we just did a certain amount of time or whatever. We will absolutely have, anytime there's a news item, like you're launching a Kickstarter or a new project or updates or whatever, you'll send it to JM, and JM's going to curate those and figure out, how long they get up and how often and all that kind of thing. But that is the whole point. So
and I'm going to want to do interviews and promotional videos with you to kind of put out on our social media and on Twitch, so we can just talk about your products as they're getting ready to launch or coming out.
Exactly. And briefly, we have done this for a while for all of our partners. It's just hard to find, right? Because our website has a lot of Pinnacle content that we have to feature. The swag program on Drive-Thru RPG is fairly difficult to decipher. So we decided a couple of months back we wanted to create a dedicated site for all of this stuff, and then have someone we thought would do a great job for our partners to curate it, and that's what JM's job is.
Mhm.
So that site is going to be dedicated to you. It's not to say we won't put an announcement on there occasionally for us, especially for a crowdfunder or something, but generally it's for the partners. JM's going to be figuring out exactly how to make all that work, featuring your actual plays, your Kickstarters, your jump starts, everything.
Yeah. And that's basically my job. My job is to be your advocate and to be your megaphone so that we can get your products out in front of more people who want to see it, because we're all Savage Worlds fans.
Exactly.
Nice. Next question from Star City Savage is, hey, can Aces use peg art?
So we have an art repository. We put all the creatures from the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition in a Dropbox folder for everybody 4 years ago, whenever Sway came out. I guess it's been longer than that. And we are about to add more art from the companions that you can use. So, you got a cool adventure about a vampire, grab one of our vampires, right? So that is a fairly large repository of art that you can use. And someone asked earlier about Sigil. We do. We're part of Sigil now. Our good buddy Aaron Acevedo is part of he was always part of the family. He's even more part of the family now. And you can use Sigil services to order original art if you don't have contacts with artists yourselves. And Aaron and Alita and the staff over there they're excellent to work with and so easy. You just tell them what you want. We'll go find it. We'll give you some various prices, for different. I don't want to say levels of artists. It's more like tastes and, who does things faster and all that kind of stuff. We'll give you some choices, and then you kind of pick what you want to do and go for it. Of course, there's also lots of stock art out there on Drive-Thru and other places you can use for your games, in addition to the stuff we give you. Don't steal it. Don't do that. The AI art thing, Chris already addressed that, but we aren't letting go a single artist from our roster.
Right.
We will occasionally, if we've got a spot to fill in a book at the last minute, we might use some AI art. Aaron, in particular, has, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this on Facebook, is a wizard with it. And what he does is he kind of uses that to get the basics, and then he goes into Photoshop and does a lot of work himself to alter it and make it his. So it's a world of opportunity out there for you if you want to make content.
Yeah, great question. So a question comes from Reddit. It says, will Aces or any of the licensees gain access to use Game Changer in lieu of Kickstarter with some form of profit sharing with PEG rather than paying that share to Kickstarter?
So it is on our agenda to do that very thing.
Yeah.
And it would even integrate for those who do physical products. It can, if you want to, even be integrated with our 20-year partners at Studio 2 for fulfillment. And we can help you make contacts with printers, all the ones we use. It's going to open a lot of doors for some people and just make it easier, because we've already learned all these lessons and we're happy to share them with you. And JM hasn't done a lot of that stuff with us yet, but we'll have him involved in those processes. So he can be, your face for all that, and then feed it on to whoever on our team needs to assist you with it. But the short answer is yes.
And that also includes order manager phase too. So if you've already done a Kickstarter and you would like to put stuff on the order manager phase, and then if you do house stuff with Studio 2, which is a great thing for Aces, we'll handhold you through that. That's a whole nother video. But that'll allow you to add on Savage Worlds products to your order. And we're definitely looking at ways to make that financially viable for you guys as well. Like, if you have the right sales license or whatever, you can sell Savage Worlds core book with your order, and that you get like your store and things like that. Like, those are on the table as things we can try to do to make, anything possible to make your promoting our product, building our community, making more content financially viable for you guys. So
exactly, and that's a big deal that Chris just flew by there.
Yeah,
and we were debating on whether we wanted to talk about this tonight, because it's just not ready yet. But it is fully our plan that when you fulfill your product through our Game Changer, which works just like a backer kit or a pledge manager or anything else, you will be able to sell our customers. Will be able to add our items to their order, and you'll get some sort of affiliate sale for it. We don't know how much that'll be yet or how it'll work, but that is our goal. The back end that we've put in place allows all that. We just need to develop it some more, test it some more, get a few people to do some test cases through it, and that will all be there. So that should be just wonderful for everybody.
So yeah, that's super exciting, folks. And the so this is a little cryptic of a question because it was in response. But if you guys remember the Suede Kickstarter, we put in there for stretch goals and add-ons a whole bunch of jump starts for all of our aces at the time. I don't think we even had swag at the time. So if you are an ace or a swag member, or you want to be one, and you have a book or a setting or even an idea, and you want to, I'm just putting this out there. This is all I can say is if you're going to do a jump start, start working on one now, because we've got a really cool project coming up in the near future where we're going to try to do that again. Bring in aces and swag and licensee material as jump starts for a big Kickstarter we're going to do here, hopefully this year. So get on it. That's all I'm saying is if you're on the fence, put some time into that, because that was an opportunity a lot of the folks you see in the chat right now really took advantage of and launched their new Savage settings really well. We did it for SWAT, and of course we put that on hold for a bit, but the response was amazing. So do take advantage of that, make those jump starts, and we'll let you know. We'll have some tutorials on how to get those up on Drive-Thru-RPG and how to include them in our upcoming Kickstarter. But Eric is one of the folks with Wise Guys who really took advantage of that jumpstart. The jumpstart was so amazing that they rolled that into a great success with Wise Guys. So
and what a great adventure Eric ran for us on the Savage Cruise in 2020, where me and some other Wise Guys got to rescue Wayne Newton.
Save Wayne. So this is from Tank to Frank. This is for JM and me. Yes, we are totally going to go back and do a 2-shot from that risk because that was way too much fun.
Yes, we've got a date picked out. More information to follow.
Yes. So here's one for Shane, because this is also really great new news. Any word on Solomon Kane?
Yeah. So the guys at Cabinet, which is who owns Solomon Kane, and I decided that we just had too much going on, and they were trying to work on some other film and Hollywood projects and so forth a while back, and it was time to let our license lapse and go ahead and do something else with it. And I don't think that worked out, but they did the board game, and once the board game came out from Mythic. I'm sure some of you know Mythic has gone through some troubles, especially after Darkest Dungeon. I think they're recovering from it and will do just fine. If they're good people, and the fact that they've stuck around and keep fulfilling stuff, no matter how much people have been aggravated by the progress of things. I mean, a lot of people run away from these kinds of disasters, and they didn't, and I think that's huge. But Solomon Kane got handed off to Monolith, who Mythic had worked for years. And Monolith contacted us and said that they were going to bundle a lot of those materials together and would love to reprint the RPG to go with them. So I am going to update the Solomon Kane RPG, and then they are going to sell that as a licensed product from us. So we've never done that before. Nobody's ever sold our books, but that's what we're going to do, and we'll see how it works out. It will actually be just like it was before, but updated. So it'll have the full rules in the book. You don't need to come buy a Savage Worlds Adventure Edition or anything else. It'll be a complete game just like Pathfinder.
Nice. I'm so excited for that. Solomon Kane is what got me into Savage Worlds. Neil Hyde ran my very first session of Savage Worlds with Solomon Kane with Neil Hyde.
Is a great game master.
And so I've been addicted ever since. So thanks, Neil. And I got my Solomon Kane book. It's proudly right there, Solomon Kane. I go back to it. It's fantastic. And
right there. Let me get my head out of the way. That is the Bowen statue of Solomon Kane that I've had for about 20 years now.
Awesome.
I am probably this close to being like a scholar / expert on Solomon Kane. Love it. Probably read it 20 times. I've done some research on it that you probably wouldn't believe, but I just love it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
That's why we did it.
It's so good. So good. Okay. Another question. I noticed the Savage settings section currently only includes official settings. Will that be expanded to include aces and other licensees in the future? And if so, will we be able to link to offset locations for purchase restricted to Drive-Thru-RPG or any site we choose? So we're moving all aces to SavageUniverse.com. So we have our wall of wonder, which is like the wall with the little tilty thing. We're going to get a wall of wonder for the aces. It'll be and swag. But you know, swag is great, but like Drive-Thru RPG, we're gonna have to talk to Drive-Thru RPG folks and get our link on the side and get our photo there too, because other folks have theirs and we don't have ours. It hurts me inside that we aren't there.
And imagine, you know, as much trouble as we have trying to figure out what goes on the front page, right? Because you can't put everything on the front page.
Right.
Imagine the challenge that Drive-Thru has.
Right.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So, you know, we do very well with Drive-Thru. We're happy with them, but yeah, it is definitely tough to find stuff. So we're going to curate that for you over here. JM's going to handle it, organize it, figure it out, you know, and make it shine.
And one of the big tests we're gonna put onto JM is we have a hard enough time with this just in-house, is the calendar. So one thing we really want to do was the one of the questions came in and said, will PEG be including their own Kickstarters and events on the calendar to help licensees not compete? We want to get a calendar out there for all of the stuff, like whether you're a media network and you have regular actual plays, you got folks in the audience who I definitely think like, here we go, Knights of the Dinner Table. Tales of the Deadlands returning this Sunday. So we want you to know that Knights of the Tales of Deadlands is returning this Sunday. One place to look, one place to click. So if you are in the media network or you have a Kickstarter coming out or you just published your awesome idea on swag, we want to put that on the calendar so folks will know. PEG's calendar, we've got so many projects in the works. It's a little hard for us to give you guys notice. We do our best. But you know, if you are an ace and this is your one time a year to do your Kickstarter, we want you to be, you know, you can claim that spot, put it on the calendar so folks know it's coming. And so we hope that'll be a good feature. And it will take someone like JM who's super punctual and studious on
nerdy,
things.
I think is what you're,
I was going to go with organized.
Yeah, I'll take all of those.
He organizes our play dates. Like, you know, we watch nerdy stuff together and we have it on the calendar. And that's why, it's good.
But yes, we want to be a one-stop shop where you can look on the calendar and see everything that's going on, right? Whether it's a live play by Doghouse Rules or a Kickstarter from Gunmetal Games, you know, whatever. Everything should be on that calendar. Our stuff too.
And we want it to be easy to navigate and understand at a very quick glance. So we're going to come up with some sort of iconography or coding so you can see, okay, these are when the actual plays are running. Oh, hey, this is something that's a crowdfunding. Let me go look at that. Someone just dropped a new book. We've got plans.
Right.
Yes. And James, such a good guy for this. I am not. I'm the 2 minutes late for the meeting guy. So Ken, welcome, sir. Love the stuff that you guys put out, and we'd be happy to welcome you to the Savage Worlds family. That is awesome news to hear. And
big fan of Frog God games.
Right, good stuff. So this one was easy. We answered it a little bit before. So yes, we are agnostic, if not pro AI art, done the right way with the right people. We're certainly not letting it take over our production, but I mean, we needed a universe behind us, and I'm not as good as Aaron. Aaron did the amazing logo. I needed a universe, and hey, a little AI universe is our background. So we'll use it for marketing. We'll definitely use it to increase density of art in our projects. We love it for that. And then for our aces and licensees, that is up to them to decide how they'd like to access that technology. There's no ban from us from above. But if you don't choose to use it, fine. If you do choose to use it, great. We just make sure it's tasteful, and hopefully the fingers and the hands look better than. But yeah, that's our policy: is don't make ugly hands unless you're doing a Mythos game, and then it's totally okay. That's our policy. Let's see. Great. How far can licensed content require the Swader official rules? Can it be a framework for a creator to use a Savage project? One that, for example, rewrites all the edges and hindrances from the ground up, or uses different attribute names, or does it use skills?
So that's a tougher question. I'll dive right in. We don't have an SRD, and you can't reproduce our rules. That's how we make money, right? And we're not WotC. You know, we have 1/1000th of the audience that they do. And how far off of the core system you can get has so far been something we haven't had to worry about. A few people have done so, and we have just had a conversation together with them and said, I think you'd be better off just making your own system. 2 of them did, and 1 of them did. 2 of them did not, and have been happy ever since, as far as I can tell. So we want it to be Savage Worlds, right? If you suddenly say, well, I'm going to have 20 stats and a completely different skill system and everything, good for you, but it's not going to be compatible with anything else. Right. So it's not really going to sell. But changing something as a setting rule that makes sense for your world is great. That's what it's all about. as a longtime GURPS fan, and I love GURPS and still love GURPS.
Yeah.
The one thing that it didn't really do, maybe it does now, I haven't checked in a while, is that whole setting rules part, right? The rules are the rules, and that part didn't change. The setting rules are the secret sauce of our game. You know, our skills and attributes and so forth are very generic. You get your customization from your edges and hindrances, but the same applies to the campaign world. The setting rules are what make it feel different.
And I think that goes back to what Chris said about the licenses exist as a bridge, so that if you've got questions, you should feel more than comfortable coming and asking these questions. Absolutely. So that we can help answer and guide.
Right. I'm going to, since I said that, you know, we're 1/1000th the size of WotC. I don't know what the real number is, of course, but we're much smaller. But I'll share the negative of doing a license with us. We do not have the community that D&D does, right? Nobody does. So if you think you're going to be able to walk in, do a game, and sell 10,000 copies, that is not likely going to happen, right? We don't do that for most things. We do some, and a lot of times we'll sell 2,000 or 3,000 on a Kickstarter, and then we'll sell 4 or 5 times that afterwards over the course of the year. That's that's kind of our rough numbers on most things. Deadlands, core books are exceptions. Risk, Pathfinder, those things are exceptions, right? So it is still work. It is still you're still going to have to cultivate your own audience in all the normal ways that you have to do so. So I want to set those expectations, right? I don't want to pretend like we are going to instantly grant you amazing sales. I think what we're going to grant you is access to a community that's very open to trying new things, is crazy friendly, and is maybe a little more, and this is something you have to design to, is maybe more on the side of, I just want to play and I want to get through a lot of stuff in my sessions. A 2-hour combat isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that ought to be a choice, right? Normally, if suddenly a combat breaks out, it can be something, and it is in our game, that you can handle 15, 20 minutes and move on. It depends, right?
Right.
I should do a whole other talk on the layers of Savage Worlds and how we run it. But briefly, most of us run it crazy narratively, right? Give me a number. Does that sound good? Is it 4? Is it more than 8? And we narrate the results of that, right? Then there's okay, well, let's get into a little bit of what's your parry, what's your toughness, you take this many wounds. And then there's kind of that third crunchy level with, let's break out the miniatures in the game mats. This is important. Let's do it. You mentioned Neil Hyde before. If you ever read my report of the convention where I really understood this, it was playing with Chris and Neil Hyde in a Weird Wars Rome game where it was super narrative. We're just having a blast. We made a choice at one point. We broke out the miniatures and we had to fight our way out. And that's what I love about the game.
Awesome. So quick question from Draconite, and this is some of the stuff is detailed on the license page. You want to check it out now. But like, how much can you reprint from the core book? Like small things. Do the companions, are they similar to the core? So
there's a list on our website right now. I mean, like weapons, gear, summary edge descriptions, all that kind of stuff are fine. You can find it right on our website. We are going to expand all of that, and especially look at how we're going to do the companions. And we'll be working with JM to get that up and published. It won't be a full SRD. You won't be able to just reprint the entire rule book. That's just not how we work. But we're going to make it easier for you. So more is coming, but we're not there yet.
Awesome. And then let's see, 3 quick questions from Reddit, and then we're going to bring on some aces who want to share some stuff because, hey, why not? That's what the stream is about, is promoting you guys. And so let's see, Feyrath, who is awesome. He runs the Savage Worlds Reddit, and he is great for that. He is very excited about the Savage Universe page. He's curious if we're going to include support for budding authors or more promotion for. So we're going to do both. Our commitment to you is we are going to provide materials to train you up on how to enter the industry and get up to the standards of Savage Worlds production, and then promote you guys when you have the stuff. So he gave an example in his question about like, hey, do you get a concept? What do you write up? How do you kind of Pinnacle? When do you get sign off? How do you go to Kickstarter? We want to cover all of that. So it'll be important for your feedback, and JM's going to start collecting all this stuff on what do you want to hear about first. So we kind of did a build a box, and that might be a little advanced for the starter folks, but we will do that. We will go through. We'll get Simon on to show you how to start using the InDesign documents that we provide for you guys to use for simple layout for one sheets. We will definitely go through when's the right time to contact Pinnacle, how much do you have to have produced, when's the right time to go from being a swag to being an ace. So we'll talk about all of that stuff over the next year and more. This is not a one and done concept. This is something that we're committing to. So yeah, we'll definitely take your feedback, but that is the goal, is to not only be a promotional place, but a to make eyeballs and instantaneously, like, you want to see what you guys are doing, but also to share knowledge with you folks, because we love doing that. And now, even things like we have aces who have done VTT, and that is really, on the end of hard stuff to do. So since you guys are doing that and we have more channels than ever for those things, we definitely want to bring that in.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to help facilitate all of the licensees to get the information they need to put out the best looking Savage Worlds products that they can, all in one place. If you have questions, if there are topics as you want to see, my email is now up on the PEG Inc. Website at the About. Send me an email, say things you want to see. I'm building the list of all of the functionality that we want to have on SavageUniverse right now. So if there's something you want to see, send me an email. I would love to hear from you and start talking with you about it.
Awesome. This is a quick question. So that also includes stuff for fulfillment.
Hey, Peter, good to hear from you. We will have answers for that on the website very soon.
Yeah. So yeah, again, good stuff. So if you want to get your stuff printed or even go overseas for printing, we will help with those efforts. And and that was the thing. It was scary waters over COVID and publishing these last couple of years, and we just keep running into icebergs in channels with shipping lanes, and it's amazing all the hurdles we jump. But I think really now is a really great time we're about to bring on our aces, because there's only one more question, and that's much more of a part of our Shane beats me up for not looking at this as well. So there's Chicago style and the other stuff. We have a style guide, and that's one of the things we will easily point you guys to, so you know which words to capitalize and what things we really don't like smoking. Not a good thing with our company. Yeah, don't like smoking. One of the questions came in and said, will there be allowance for grown-ups or only PG-13? I'll toss that one to Shane.
Yeah, and I should say, just because you mentioned it, we don't ever depict smoking in our games. That doesn't mean you can't. It's a personal thing for me, because I've had some relatives die of horrible lung cancer. So I will never do it. I will never support that. But it's your games. You can do that. We don't police them. Outside of being something truly awful, we don't police your stuff once you're approved as an ACE license. On the swag side and so forth, if somebody reported it, we would go check it out. If there's something horribly racist or terrible towards children, et cetera, we chase it. We've never had to do that. We have a good community, so
right?
Thank goodness.
Awesome. So speaking of good community, we're going to bring on Ross Watson, who's got some experience all over the industry as a writer, but he's going to be here to show us some good stuff from Star Anvil Studios. And then Adam Lloyd, who's been pretty awesome on our swag program as well. So welcome, fellas.
Thank you for having us on.
Hey, Ross.
Hey, I'm joining the Bald Guy Mafia right here.
That's right.
Right. Someone said we're not politically challenged to just migrate. It's like, yes. We had a meeting the other day where it was Cheyenne. It was Cheyenne had great hair, beard, and then Chuck Selner had great head hair and great beard hair. And so it was anyways, guys, let me start with a question for you two. What has been your experience so far publishing in the industry and then publishing with Savage Worlds? What do we do it better? Do we what aspects of our licenses have you guys been able to take advantage of, and what tips do you have for folks just getting on board that train?
I'll start if you like.
Sure.
Well, I've worked with some of the biggest licenses in the industry, from Star Wars to Lord of the Rings and Warhammer. And I can tell you, my best experience working with a company has been with Savage Worlds and with Pinnacle. I did a setting called Accursed a while back, and we supported that through the ACE license, and it was absolutely fantastic every step of the way.
Love Accursed so much.
Right. And there's good news coming for that too, if you want to drop a hint, Ross.
Oh, well, yeah, the second edition is in the works over at Sigil, and hopefully coming out this year.
yeah, it's one of those sigil projects. I not mine to tell, so I can't. But yes, there's so much good stuff coming to work from that in the marriage. So Adam, how about you? What it's been like being part of the Savage community and entering publishing and that good stuff?
It's fascinating, honestly. I've been in the industry doing stuff since 2008. I've worked for a bunch of companies that are actually pretty high profile, White Wolf, Goodman Games, things like that. Honestly, I'm surprised at how I was brought in. Shane can tell you. I mean, he just came out me out of the blue during Deadlands Noir and said, "Hey, you want a job?" I'm like, I got to work for the God King Shane, so I was like, "Awesome!" Yeah, I know you're shaking your head. We worked with each other, but no, it's just Pinnacle is so on board, so helpful, and you can poke anybody and get a response and stuff. And I haven't really found too much about that with other companies that I worked for. And they actually listen. That's the thing that's really big about me, and I'm happy about. I've worked too many jobs where they're like, "Get this done, do this." I'm like, "Well, what do I want to do this?" No, just get this done. So, you guys, if any of you guys are out there working on something, hit these guys up. They're all amazing. That's my 2 bits of advice there.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. So for both of you, how was working at actually with the license? Like, is it you find it hard to work with the licensing? Is it easy? Is it straightforward? Any concerns you guys have with the licensing? Anything like that?
I can go first again if you like. Well, part of the thing is I've been in this industry for like 22 years. And I've been a friend of Shane and a friend of a lot of the guys that work there. I've been in Shane's house, been in some of the other guys' houses that's worked there, like JM, been in James' house. So
sometimes we even invited him.
That's true. Sometimes, on the rare occasion, when I was caught. But really, all I can say is these guys are actually my friends. So it feels like a family rather than a license.
Yep.
That being said, like when it comes to business, I have never had any issues. It's always been completely 100% transparent, 100% upfront. I always knew what I was getting into, and I like to think that they always knew what they were getting from me. So yeah, I cannot recommend it highly enough.
I mean, Ross kind of just hit it on the nail there. It working under Pinnacle, it's a family, exactly that, and I'm a little bit different. I haven't actually done Ace yet. I hope that financially I can get to a point where I can become an Ace, but I'm doing things on the swag side of things, and even the swag allows a lot of creative freedom. I mean, a lot. So it's a fantastic service, and I love doing this stuff.
I'd add too that I greatly appreciate the praise, but of course, one of the tenets that I think we kind of start with is we're not going to hold your hand. We will help you as much as we can. You don't want us to hold your hand, right?
No.
You are creatives in your own right. You know what you're doing. We've got a system you can use and a community you can access of people who like the kinds of stuff that we all make. But I think that's what's important. And there's plenty like this. It's not unique to us. But you have to, as I mentioned earlier, you've got to build a fan base. You've got to market your stuff. We will help you as much as we can. But we are also focused on our stuff as well, right? So it is it's a true free market. We offer as much as we can, and the rest is on you. And I think that's a very good thing, because you got to go cultivate your audience and the kinds of stuff you want to make. So you're not making just trying to make the same stuff we make. Nobody needs more of that. We're doing that. So you do your thing. It's just like what we talked about earlier with smoking or hardcore violence, or Jason what is Bedlam? What was Jason? Little Fears. Help me out here.
Oh, Morningstar?
No. That's Fiasco. Boy, good friend, and now I've forgotten his last name.
Streets of Bedlam.
Yeah, he did Streets of Bedlam.
Blair.
Jason Blair. Sorry, Jason. My apologies. He did basically Sin City, right? It's not something we do, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I think Jason's kind of distanced himself from it since then. It's been a long decade, but it is great that's one of the things the licensing program allows you to do is do your own thing, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't, we curate ACEs to a degree to make sure that it's quality. I lived through the D20 boom and bust, and there was a lot of great stuff to come out, and there was a lot of garbage. And our community is small enough that I don't want somebody buying 20 dwarf books. Right.
Yeah. So, Adam, we're going to show some art that Ross sent in. So give us while we do this, prepare what your next big project is so we can, get folks excited for it. But Ross, tell us, what are we seeing here? This is some pretty good art.
Right. Wow. This is art from Star Anvil Studios. That's my company, and we're developing a game called Saints and Sinners for Savage Worlds. This is a sci-fi universe, and this is a picture of one of the planets in Saints and Sinners.
Awesome.
We got Sean Berger. You guys may know Sean. He's actually helping us savage it, and it's going to be really, really great.
Ooh, awesome. And tell us about this one.
That's more Saints and Sinners. That is a space, like a cantina that you might find on a desert world out on the rim of space in Saints and Sinners. One of the things that's great, my partner, Brandon Verhalen, he's the art director, and he finds ways to really bring the settings to life through the artwork. And it looks really, really great.
Right. And so, so for those of you who are brand new to us, that's the quality of art you can find in ACES. That is as good as anything you'll see in any industry, comics, movies. Just gorgeous stuff. And so, we love that you guys are raising the bar on the quality of that stuff. And there's no worry. Like Brandon and his worlds, if you publish for Savage Worlds, you can take it to Hollywood with all your rights intact. And that's kind of the big fears with kind of, the changes to the OGL is, well, what if I want to keep my IP and do other things with it? And it's also why like properties like Deadlands aren't open in the sense like you got to contact us and be, because if there's going to be a Deadlands TV show or a Deadlands movie, we need to go to Hollywood and say we have a chain of rights of this, and this is all and that's the reason. It's not because we're greedy or want to gatekeep or fence folks out. It's that the ability to move into other media, and Shane has had amazing success. You worked in the video game industry a little bit, Shane. I tell everybody about that really cool game you worked on that everybody loves, and it's really, really cool.
Oh, which one?
The Supers one, like
Landauer. Don't poke the bear.
City of Villains.
Yeah.
Don't choose violence, Landauer.
Right.
Neverwinter. And
okay.
D&D's Neverwinter Online. That's a fantastic game. And a super cool game I was working on down in Texas for a while that did not come out, but let's just say it was marvelous.
Oh. The one that got away. Yeah, but that's the thing, right, guys? Is we want you to be able to take your ideas, and if you want to get a movie deal, Holler needs to be a movie. I'm sorry, that's that's there, right? And and if we can help with that, by all means, it'd be wonderful. But and that's the one thing about, because we have Jody and because we have Christine and we have people who will answer emails, and they're just they're right there, and now JM, we can do bespoke stuff when it's required, right? So that's the one, I think, the difference between an open license and D&D and us is that if there's something that, really great opportunity, and we had one come in the door that was a really fantastic opportunity, and I'm pretty sure Sigil picked it up and is working on it right now, and I can't say anything more, but if you like Pathfinder for the Savage Worlds, you might love what this is, because those things happen, and because Shane is still the lifeblood of the company, and there isn't a corporate barrier between us and you guys. Those are opportunities that are there. So you can actually talk to us, and so it's not all of our licenses come with, hi, we get to know you, be our friend, join the community, not just hey, you get to play with this stuff for free, and we don't care what you do, but you're too small. Because apparently some people didn't stay too small. And we would love it if you guys rocketed off into fame and fortune in the industry. So, Adam, I promise to come back to you. What's coming up from you, sir? What do we get to get excited about?
I've got two things I'm working on right now. One is a long ways away from being worked on, so I'll talk about that one last. But I'm actually working on a expansion for Maker's Rogue's Guide to the Sprawls for Sprawl runners.
And I do believe that you are a award-winning swag producer, right? You have taken home some swag awards, so that's
Yes,
something to be a candidate for another one because Sprawl Runners is fantastic.
Yep. And I'm not sure. And look, I mean, I got it for Technomancers, I do believe, is what I got mine for. And then I came out with Maker's Rogue's Guide to the Sprawls, and that one blew up. I mean, I'm sitting on Electrum right now. On
congratulations, sir!
Nice.
Thank you.
I mean, that's an accomplishment because I will note that there is a major publisher, like big time publisher, whose core book just went Electrum because they put it on sale for like 10 cents or $1. You did not do that, and you beat them to Electrum. So I'm saying there's some opportunities, sir. Congratulations on that. We want to see more of that. That's really why we're doing this. It's hard for us when we yell and when we do Kickstarters and we do crowdfunders, it feels like you hear us because it's the same folks. We want you guys to get seen by the industry. We want you to be up front and center in the amazing things you bring to the industry. So you're not just bringing it to Savage Worlds, you're bringing it to everybody. Yeah. So that's really the goal. So we love that. Oh, and hey, Sean Bircher's in the chat. Appreciate you, guy. And then here's a cool one. I'm going to be a little cheeky. So the folks who joined us in Deadwood got to see some super secret awesome footage. And that project has continued to go down the tracks. That's all I'm saying. No guarantee it reaches a station, but, that has progressed nicely. So when we do get news you can use, we will be the first to tell you. But that's the cool thing is there is so much good stuff coming with Savage Worlds. We've grown the family. Amazing. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate being able to eat and, have a house. And that's really awesome.
I'm a fan of food myself.
Right. Me, less and less every day, but, still. That's really our goal, guys. And this is probably going to be one of our largest streams ever. We know that there's a lot of anxiety in the industry. Yeah. Any final questions, guys? Throw them up because we're going to get out of your hair so you can go and definitely read the Paizo statement today. They put up on their blog a very a well-done statement. We are part of that family too, and we've signed on to it. And Rocky Mountain Games. So absolutely, just today, putting in our request for rooms. We are going to try to have a larger presence at Gen Con this year. This is the 20th anniversary of Savage Worlds, so this is the hashtag Year of Savage Worlds, and we are currently making plans for both Gen Con and probably a late in the year get-together meetup in person because we miss you guys greatly. So as soon as I get the details on that, you guys will be the first to know. And
let me jump in real quick, Chris. And somebody mentioned Savage Pathfinder. I'll just put this to rest because I've had a lot of questions about it. We don't anticipate any problems with Savage Pathfinder. We are translating the Adventure Path story, not the system. We use the system as a guideline for ours, but the system is not part of ours. Yes, we have the OGL in the back of ours because it was part of the Savage Pathfinder game originally. We'll figure that out, but I have no belief right now that we will have to stop making Savage Pathfinder. If that changes, I'll let you know. But right now, we're full steam ahead. We love it. We're going to keep doing it. We have great friends at Paizo. I've known those folks for a long time.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let's see right. We are looking at it. We definitely want to. I mean, that's another part of our family is your representation at conventions. So just in case you guys don't know, if you are playing and running, if you are running Savage Worlds at a local convention, get in touch with us and we will send you swag so that you can represent and give gifts to your players. And the more you run, the more we like to treat you guys. So that is definitely part of the deal. If you are proselytizing and being a wonderful representative of Savage Worlds, we like to help you out and make your players appreciate it. And speaking of players, so that jumpstart you guys are doing, do it. And there's going to be something with players, and it's going to be great. And I can't say any more because Shane's going like. But the Savage Cruise, not this year. We're not getting on a boat again yet. We're going to keep our feet on the ground for this year's meetup. But we will definitely, hopefully, go to exotic, fun locations.
Because it's a fantastic event Chris put together.
It was fun, and we need to do it again. But the yes, Game Hole Con is wonderful. There will definitely be swag for them because they are ahead of the game. But yes, also, since I do need to mention this, guys, if you want to run for us at Gen Con, I will put my email in the chat and get in touch. And so we will be able to put you hopefully in the space that we haven't got a guaranteed space yet, but we're looking to get a guaranteed space. But if you want to run at Gen Con, my email is in the comments right now. Get in touch, and we will start getting you guys where you need to be to run. But there are many great, Chupacabra Con, a great convention coming up. The Denver conventions,
Genghis Khan,
right? Get on board, folks. The Game Hole. Let's see. Oh, Robin is running a Game Hole. See, I think Game Hole might have taken over the local conventions, the largest, at least these last years. So they're doing some impressive stuff like that. And let's see. Marco. One of the ideas, maybe Savage Costa Rica. I don't know. It might be cool. Might be on the list, but not this year. So let's see. Any other questions in the chat, guys? Norse Foundry. Here's a cool thing. We want to call a shout out Norse Foundry. So they fall under our partners, right? So Norse Foundry has done some great stuff for us in our Kickstarters. I think my dice are somewhere close, but they did some amazing dice for us for our boxed set that we did, the Essentials box. That is out of print. Keep your eyes peeled for something cool like that in the future. We love the concept, and we saw that you guys did. But so North Foundry is a partner for us, and they created great dice, and we figured out a deal to get those into those boxes. So that is another way of interacting with us as a licensee. And so cheers for them. And then that again, they will also be a part of SavageUniverse because they do amazing stuff. And 40 hours at GaryCon. Look at that. Thanks, Pete. Pete is an ace. Check out Blessed Machine. He's got a very great, but
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's intense.
Right? So this is why we need the website. I wouldn't have known that unless, so we want you to be able to say, there's 40 hours of awesomeness at GaryCon. Let's go to GaryCon, right? And appreciate you guys. And make sure, I think Sean will be there for sure, right? Sean, you're coming up to Denver. I think some other Carl will be there and some other good friends from out of state. So guys, do come hang out with us. We'd love to meet you guys. It's all part of the big thing. So I think any final questions you guys want, any kind of final statements? I'll go around the room. Ross, final thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to say Saints and Sinners will have a jump start. We're excited about that. And if you come out to Genghis Khan, which is the end of February, February 24th, you can actually play. We've got games scheduled for Accursed Second Edition and Dominions of Steel, which is another Savage World setting that is coming out from Sigil that I'm involved in. So
nice.
So much goodness. Adam, final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, I just glad to be here, glad to be doing it. I hopefully will have something with the expanded Magus Rose guide on the future here. Just letting you guys know, I'm planning on expanding it with edges, folding Technomancers into it so people don't have to buy a whole bunch of different books at once. Bestiary, things like that. So, and then my big project I'm going to be working on, I hope, depending on how it goes, I might have a jump start for my secret project later near the end of this year. Just depends on if I can get stuff rolling.
Nice. Well, and then do tune in later in the month for the 2022 Savage Worlds Adventure Guilds Awards because Adam might be up for one last year. We'll see.
Woo, good luck, Adam.
That brings us to JM. Sir, final thoughts.
I'm just excited to be part of this and launching this. Please let me know anything that you have Savage Worlds going on, whether it is new stuff coming up on Swag, whether it's streams, podcasts, Kickstarters, crowdfunding, anything. Send me the information. We will get it on the calendar. This is just the beginning. We want to really just enable you to be as creative as you can be with Savage Worlds. And the rising tide raises all ships, and we want to help as many ships out there as we can. So get in touch with me. Let's see where we can go with this.
Awesome. Final thoughts, Mr. Hensley.
Thanks for coming on board, JM. We are really excited to get this going and just really give a spotlight to all the folks that have been making content for Savage Worlds in the past and in the future. And it's a good time to be a gamer, despite a rough week for everybody. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to happen from this. Once we get over some of the bad parts of it, and we will. Right? We're resilient people, and none of us can stop making games. We just can't do it. That's why we're here.
Right. And so with that, because we were celebrating another awesome achievement in our community today, I'm going to play a little video. So just a few short years ago, Mr. Tim Early, was just a college professor and a poet with a love for Appalachia. And he happened to run into the Denver Rocky Mountain Savages community and figured that Savage Worlds was something he wanted to bring his idea to. And he became an ace, and we loved it so much. And I pushed Tim and Shane into the same little room to talk, and they brought him on board. And now it is not only an amazing limited edition box set, gorgeous RPG setting that is people are getting at their doorsteps presently. It's soon to be a comic, and so there's going to be a Holler graphic novel, and hopefully more, guys. So I think we're gonna with that. Yes, Civil Savage just got his Holler set today. They are amazing. They look so great.
Thanks,
Simon.
Ronnie.
Right, Simon did there's a hidden owl somewhere on that limited edition book. If you find it, you get an extra penny in your game. But it looks amazing, and it is. I don't know. It's to me like I being a small part in shepherding that project around. I'm so like I'm a proud grandpa for all that Tim has done.
You were a huge part of it, Chris.
Only because I am huge. That's the only reason. But the Tim was great enough, and his lovely wife to film a little unboxing video. It's only 2 minutes, so we're going to leave you with that as a special treat at the end to see that you too could one day be a Tim Early, with a little help from your friends at Savage Worlds. So with that, guys, all 100 and God, there's so many people watching this stream. Thanks for joining us. Hey, as long as we're here, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, we are on Facebook. We are on Discord. Find us at those locations. Subscribe and do all those cool things to get the notifications. The best way to get up to date is the newsletter. So go to pegging.com, sign up for the newsletter. We give you guys every Tuesday, right in the afternoon, the best stuff happening from us each week. That's the best way to do it. With that, we will see you guys soon with more streaming, more promotion of Aces. JM and I are working on the awards right now, and we're going to be thrilled to give those out because they mean so much more now that we have a better platform to keep this spotlight on you guys. So thanks for being part of the family, and good luck with all the gaming and fun stuff. So here is Tim and Holler. Cheers, folks.
Here's the Holler box set. I've already taken the shrink wrap off, so you wouldn't have to suffer through me struggling through it. Here's Francesco's awesome cover, which is also the cover for the core book, which we have an extra one here. This is the fancy limited edition book. Let's see if it's one that I signed on Monday. Yes, it is, because I signed all 500 plus. Map of the Holler and a little map of the textile town of Ashdown on the back. Look at these pawns. Here are the sheets of bluegrass picker, gouger, granny woman, moonshiner, miner, holy roller, lumberjack, tinker, seer. What did we call him? He's like the mountain man. Yes, the peddler, the curious youth, Percy Ray Bunch. And then we get one of the big boys here, Samuel Ashdown. Here's the sheep squad. Here's the action deck. This is awesome. You have your little playing cards. You determine initiative. Here are archetype cards for the various archetypes. You can just pop them out and start playing. Don't even have to create a character. Here are the scene setters. This was Shane Hensley's idea with sort of iconic areas from around the Holler, and then a little description to help the GM set the scene and set the mood. That's them all. Here are bookmarks. Looks like the GM screen. I should really open this up. Francesco's illustration on this is incredible. Here's the core book hiding down here at the bottom of the box. Core book. Here are your big, they're orange. Orange, it's so spooky and Halloweeny and Halloweeny. Orange is my favorite color. Oh, look at that. Look at these gorgeous bennies. Oh my God, the bennies. And here's your little custom die set. Oh, look, in the bottom of the box, you have the trees with the witchwood and the witchy sigils on. Oh, that's a really nice touch, Simon. And here's your wild die with a little owl on it. That's our unofficial Holler mascot. Could have been a sheep squatch. Sheep squatch is pretty big. And I forgot this little bag. I missed it. It's a beautiful little bag. Says Holler on it, and it has your conviction tokens, which are like this antiquated copper with a really cool witchy tree on it. Holler conviction.